Hello, welcome to us, Evolve. This is topic for today is don't end up being a self-help junkie. So, the place it's important to know what place I'm coming it from. Don't think that self-help is something that is bad, or you should not be engaged in it. A lot of people just say in the context that don't read those books and don't listen to those people, just have to do it, and this theory is not important. Those kind of things to discourage people entirely from getting into self-help. But it's not that. I think it is important, the theory, that whatever you think, and the motivational, whatever things that you do, it puts you in a positive momentum, and that is more important in the long term. And it is something that does help people. You could argue that it does not have any practical benefits and those kind of things, but I think what it does is puts you in a positive state of mind and a frame of mind that is beneficial, and it puts all the negative things out from your mind. So it is good in the sense, in that sense, that it helps you. Where I'm coming from is a lot of times these self-help courses are designed to make you feel good, or it could be something that they might not have the best interest in, have your best interest in mind. So even whenever you're doing or listening to a product or self-help or literature, once you listen to it, what is also important that you find out what is some actionable item that I can use with it, and am I just listening to this because of an inspiring story, or is this also something that is going to help me? Because as an information marketer, I've studied those marketers, and what I personally found was when those motivational speakers or authors, when they are making up the books and those best-selling books, those kind of things, the only thing that captures the customer's imagination and fills the seminar seats and sells the books, and what people remember at the end is just those stories. And it is kind of eye-opening or sad in the sense that they are aware of what they're doing, and they know that 90% or 80% people won't apply what they're teaching, and they know that this to sell the books they need those stories and those kind of things, and if they could write something that is beneficial in 10 or 12 pages, they were better off writing it in 20 or 30, 200 or 300 pages, or videos or that go up to 5 6 hours or 10 hours, and selling you the video in $1,000 or $2,000, those kind of things. So these are marketing things that are part of it, that sometimes it is for the benefit that they know that someone, if they spend this kind of amount of money, they will eventually take action and they might be doing this. But the other aspect is also that a lot of people cannot afford it, and they might not have access to that information because of that reason. And as they are not their customers, they don't really care about those kind of things. So that is also one aspect of it. So we won't go into some such negative, because end of the day I think most of them are coming from right intentions, and they're trying to help as many people as they can. So a lot of people, they are not intentional about it, so that is also one of the reason. So I'll give them a pass on this, but what I need you to understand is self-help, it could be something that might not be so much beneficial if you're doing something and reading the same books again and again, but you're not taking any action, or you're reading something that is just not actionable. If you don't have any disposable income or something that you can invest, it might not be so good reading about investments when I think you do not have the income to invest, or you could be doing something more with your time, or reading about building businesses when you're not really interested in building a businesses. Maybe your passion is something different, or it's just something that you're at a very young impressionable age. You don't know what to do with your life, and you just think that I think maybe I should build a business because of that reason. And those are the bad reasons why you should be doing something, anything. Like, technically it might be a good idea, but it might not be the correct idea for you. It might not be the right thing for you to do at that time. And a lot of those customers that are there are also impressionable people. It's kind of like those people are at that stage of their lives that they don't know what to do with their lives, and they're kind of impressionable, kind of like it's almost like joining a cult. But this cult is something that is it's his motivation, providing you motivation and feel good messages and stories, and a lot of this are kind of those stories like those chicken soup books. So it is good for your soul maybe once you listen to those stories, but you have to think what if there are those kind of things are doing any good to your body also, and your current situation also. So you have to keep that in mind while you're doing this. And the two kinds of people that will stop you from this. So self-help, one who have not studied the self-help themselves, that is fine. They have not some of the things are good, some of the tricks and those kind of things do help, some of the mindsets do help. The other is mind, in the sense that you I'm aware that it has some wrong benefits too, and it can put you down a spiral hole that it leads you nowhere. And it has happened to me also sometimes, so that is why I'm sharing it with you. It's not that I want to just shit on them. It's like that, but the other thing is in their marketing that they do is they are aware of this, so they'll be telling you things like those kind of authors, and I won't name the names, but most of those renowned authors, they'll be saying, and those self-help people, that you should ignore all the other people in their life who are telling you that you should not be doing this, you should cut them out of my life, and those kind of things. That if someone does not listen to you, someone does not support your goals, cut them out of your life, and those kind of things. And if someone listens to them at an impressionable age, what happens is anytime they're doing something that someone does not agree on this, they think that this is what that self-help person had told me or to be aware of. And eventually, even if that person would be well meaning, they could be their friend, their brother, and those kind of things, they just instead of putting out a decent argument, instead of having good boundaries, or making, or just in general having a conversation with that person, they just start cutting out those people from their life. It is kind of a trick, that not a trick, but this is kind of a technique a lot of toxic people also do. If you realize those kind of situations, if you've been, so that is a technique, or that is a lot of toxic people also, they say. And this is kind of also used in this MLM companies, those kind of things, when they're selling these things that if someone tells you those things, your friends will tell you that this is kind of bad. But if they're saying this, they are just jealous of you, or they don't want you to succeed, and those kind of things. And this is most probably it is not the case. Your friends are mostly well-meaning, and they don't have this in their mind that they don't want you to succeed and those kind of things. But I think this is what when they're joining those self-help groups, and whatever books they start reading, this is what they are told. And it is just like being in a cult, and because those kind of things and activities they happen in cults. And they have the authors have kind of figured out how to use those kind of things that are happening in cults to their books, to of course sell more books or resell their courses, seminars, whatever. But doing that, yes, I think they might be selling the books, but what at what cost? You have to understand that the person ends up playing up with people's lives and those kind of scenarios. And it might not always be good for everyone to do those kind of things that I think everyone should be doing. And if you've read those, you probably know what I'm saying. But that's all. And see, even if there is a positive thing, you should not take it blindly. You should question everything that they're doing. And that's all. You should not take them something as a celebrity that everything that they say or do is correctly, because at the end of the day they are just mostly business people or authors, and they've just figured out a knowledge before than you. And it's just a matter of one person knowing something and one person not knowing something. So don't make it something that you put them on a pedestal or something like that. It's not something that if they've achieved something that you cannot achieve it because they have some kind of superpower or something. So never feel that that person is above you, or due to some reason that they just know something that they have probably got, or information, if they have some more information than you, that they are better, and those kind of things. So because that does not make someone knowing something more, does not necessarily translate to them being moral and knowing what is best for you. And the other thing is they also are good, great marketers, and marketers do learn from them, and that is fine. But the other thing is they have probably studied their market very nicely, so they also know what is your current situation like. So while they tell you what your uh, once they become an authority at where you are, they automatically kind of become an authority of where you should go next. So this is kind of a marketing technique again, that if you want to establish with someone that you want to provide an authority, that where they should go, if you provide an accurate assessment uh, that of what are currently what they're doing, and you become an authority of currently what they're thinking and those kind of things, it automatically translates to uh, becoming an authority on what they should be doing next. So this is kind of a tactic that it is used by the self-help authors and those kind of people who are writing those kind of books. And they are well aware of this, mind you. And it's not something that a lot of people they spend time, and this is just templates. And it's kind of if it happens, it happens. I think we cannot do much about it, and there's no point in saying that it is bad. And because at the end of the day, it is, I think they are doing something better than uh, maybe providing those kind of bad. There are also a lot bad influences in the society. So they're not in those sense kind of that bad, but it is if you're consuming it for intellectual entertainment, I think you should not. There are a lot of other entertainments also in your life. I think it, instead of becoming their fanboys and consuming all those entertainment, and if you start getting all your intellectual entertainment from that kind of source, I think it's better you just open Netflix and find a show to watch, because if that is the same thing that you'll be doing if you kind of just watching them because for entertainment sakes. And it is also what happens is, one of my friend told me that a lot of people, when something business wise is not going good in their lives, they kind of move to those kind of things where they get some kind of intellectual stimulation out of this. So a lot of people who are already doing a lot of intellectually stimulating or hard or like those kind of busy work, or those kind of codings, or those kind of mind consuming things, maybe, or office job, or those kind of things, sending emails and those kind of things, those people, they want to take a break, they listen to comedy and those kind of fun silly things. But people who are not doing those kind of things, to get to lack that intellectual need filled, they listen to those kind of things. And once you get sucked into it, that is fine. Some girls listen to murder documentaries, and some other people, they uh, there are other intellectual things also they do. But that's all. Maybe they read fiction books. So you have to realize that you're just getting those kind of your needs filled while you're engaging in those things. And if it is healthy for you or not, whether you actually want to be doing this or not, or you're just doing that to just get your intellectual curiosity filled, or you're getting uh, intellectual entertainment to say, those kind of things. I think if you're doing that, it is not very good. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I have not done this. I have actually done this to kind of extreme. So that is why I wanted to warn people that I should not be doing this for intellectual entertainment. You might as well play video games or watch Netflix, because those are better entertainment in the long run than engaging in those kind of or becoming a self-help junkies. So that is from the context I wanted to say that why you should not be doing it. And the other thing is, if you want to consume the information anyway, try to get transcripts, or find the ebooks and those kind of things, and scan through them and find out what is the good information. If you do it that way, you will skip all those parts, and you not become emotional, or not emotional in the sense, but you will skip all the bullshit and find out what you're doing, and what is the part that is relevant. And the other thing is, before you start reading any book, first find out what you want to get from this book or course, and go with that mindset, and then read the book. Those things only, or those parts only. There's nothing, no compulsion that you have to read the entire book or complete the entire course to get the value out of something. It is not at all important. It's not your school or course or college syllabus. So a lot of people have those kind of things that they want to complete everything. So that is not something that you need to do. So that's all. I hope it helps, and I hope it gets you out of that situation. And if you have a friend that is gets into that kind of spiral, so instead of just saying that don't do this, I think maybe you could send them this podcast, and could explain to them what is the reason why I'm coming from this kind of place, and what is the context behind saying this. So that's all. Hope this helps and you don't make the same mistakes. That's all. Thank you for listening to SU Wolf signing out.